Going live in three, two, one. Oh, it's already live. Oh my God. Fam, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm stupid tired tonight. It is what it is, though, man. Uh, the summer's going great. I seen myself walking past a building. It was empty though. I don't be looking at myself in the reflection unless that thing empty. But damn, I'm looking good. Slim down, lost some weight, feeling good. And you know how I can tell I lost weight because it's hot as hell outside, and I'm not sweating as much as I normally do. And right now, the fan I have on in my room sounds like one of those things you put up on your front porch when you want to watch mosquitoes get caught. And it's loud as hell. And I think it's just from something that must have been on the phone. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the fan is tripping. But if you hear like the crackling and shit, don't worry. I'm not on the front porch recording the show. It's just the fan. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, man, your man is looking good. Well, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo. Who is that? Is that you? Yeah, it's me. But yeah, man, it feels good because usually during the summers when I just get to looking like a meatloaf, actually. Shit. It's your man DJ Pocket Biscuit, aka DJ Big Loaf, aka DJ Wheat Loaf, aka DJ Meatloaf. I'm gonna announce myself on Track Talk Radio here shortly, but for real though, usually during the summer, I'm looking like a big ass 6'3", 245 pound to 50 pound meatloaf. That's a big ass meatloaf. But this year, I'm just looking like a snack. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. But anyway, shout out to you if you out here on your grind this summer, trying to do everything you can to shed those extra quarantinal bees. Quarantinal bees. All right. Quarantinal pounds. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, there's a part of me that feel like this year for everybody got an excuse. It's okay. What were you supposed to do? The gyms were closed. I mean, yes, you can go work out outside, but who really want to be outside all the time when all these people not willing to wear masks and shit? Not everybody want to just be out there, catching the Rona, especially just share some LBs. But it's tough to stay off the snacks because especially when we quarantined, there was hardly any real food available, but there was hella snacks. So if you was hungry, you probably was eating a bag of chips and 10 little Debbie's, and that turned into 3-4 day stretches binging, and not TV shows on Netflix, just food. You went back to actually using the word for what, at least how I always remembered it. When I heard the word binging, I'm like, oh, that means somebody just eating too damn much. And that's what we was all doing. So this year, everybody had an excuse. But see, for me, I just kept remaining hopeful that the gym was going to open. I could go back and hoop. And so to no avail. Obviously, the gym is not open. But I took it upon myself to decide, listen, man, you got to stop. You got to stop being so damn big. Come on, man. Because there are things in life that I like to do. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be for real. This is not a joke. Some of my motivation to stay at least somewhat fit is that I don't want to get to my mid to late 30s and then wake up in the morning and look down and be like, where he at? I'm not trying to be in that position, okay? I want to be like, yo, looking strong, my man. Let's start the day. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be on that, playing Where's Waldo with your dinghy type of stuff. And listen, it's no disrespect to anybody that's in that position, but at the same time, if you would have been thinking like I was thinking, I don't know, man. I just tried to catch it early, because the pandemic, you could let that slip away from you. I'm still combating the pounds that I put on in college, my very few days of college life. I'm still trying to combat those pounds. They ain't gone away since the early 2000s. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just happens. But at the same time, this pandemic gave me a good reason to take my ass outside, jog, like actually run around the damn block, run the stairs. I got a bike. Oh my God. I ride my bike every day now. This shit is crazy. It's a part of the routine now. Get your big ass on the bike. I'm not talking to y'all, I'm talking to me. Get my big ass on that bike, ride down to the court, get my shots up, and then get to work, man. It's simple. So shout out to me for shedding those LBs. And yeah, I'm definitely shouting out myself because I am somebody that I tend to struggle with weight, like with great struggle for real. And the only thing that really like will get me motivated is if like I really just want to go kill on the basketball court. Because some of the people I know around this area be talking a whole lot. And they talk as if they're similar to some of these like YouTube hoopers that you be seeing or people like that. But then like they can't even bust me up at the court. I want y'all to understand something. If you've hooped with me, you have to understand I've been overweight since the day I touched down in Washington. I still be killing y'all. So I don't want to see you on your IG talking like you're nice when you don't even get picked up at our run. Just fam, just stop. You're okay at basketball. You are not that good. And you know exactly who I'm talking to because I know you watched this show. I'm not going to say your name because I don't want to disrespect you too bad, but I need you to chill and stop acting like you're like the Michael Jordan of the freaking LA Fitnesses around here because you don't even be getting picked up first at our run. And I know that because I'm one of the people that picked the damn teams, you bum. Anyway, shout out to me for losing weight. We got a couple of minutes before we, intro the show live on Track Talk Radio. Yo, listen. This morning when I woke up, the first thing I did is because lately I've been connecting with some dope ass people. So yesterday I connected with my homeboy Andre Marriott, and he makes dope ass beats. So this morning I woke up, I had a little extra pep in my stuff because I've been telling y'all for weeks now that I'm coming back to the music thing, not to make any money, but just because I want to make good songs. I'm coming back to music, and then lo and behold, I connect with somebody who is making beats. So this morning I turn on these beats on YouTube because after I got done hooping, I'm just getting ready for work. So I figured, let me get on these beats real quick. These shits is fire. So shout out to my man, Marriott Music, man. New fan of the show, following the channel. I'm going to make sure that I tag him and let him know, man, you got to check this out. Y'all got to go to his IG too. I just checked him out on here, followed him on here too, man. This is crazy. I mean, he's a producer, writer, audio engineer. I mean, shit, man, you might as well just put on the title, does it all. But anyway, these beats are slapping. So I spent the whole morning on the way to work kicking these bars. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm still in practice mode. It took me a while. I gotta get my wind back. You know what I'm saying? Get my wings and my steps right, all that type of stuff. So the freestyles were not all that great, but I feel like with a little bit of time and me going back to the pad with the pen, it's gonna be hot. So I'm gonna reach out to my man. I'm about to get this tape for real cracking off. And I'm gonna see if I can use some of my man's beats. I'm willing to pay because I actually want my project to be good. And I'm not trying to make money off it. I'm just doing the music because I enjoy making music. That's it. So shout out to my man, Marriott Music, man. Hope we have him on the show one day. I'm assuming that based on how dope these beats are, he'll probably be at the top very soon. Obviously, me with the talent that I have, I'm going to be at the top very soon what I'm doing. And hopefully we can connect. I'm going to have my man on the show. We're going to get it cracking. Let me go intro the show. Da-da, 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 da-da. Welcome to the Michael Jackson Show. We're live on Track Talk Radio as well as YouTube because today is Tuesday. I do the video Tuesdays and Thursdays. We got Tame and Calm Thursdays. No. Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday. And then Big Booty Thursday. No, I'm just playing. That's not a thing on this show. I'm trying to, make it a little bit more spicy. I feel like I should add some spice, but at the same time, this is not a show that is going to have an intro where there's, maybe I should get like something that pops up on the screen at the beginning of the show. Just a big booty bouncing across the front. That'd be live, wouldn't it? Anyway, welcome to the Michael Jackson Show. Shout out to you if you're listening on Track Talk Radio. We've had a lot of listeners on there lately talking about this show. And I even hear that maybe on the website. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to make that news yet, but we might have some good news about me on the website. Share. You got to use some of these pictures from these photo shoots I've been doing. Make sure your man looks right on the website. But anyway, man, I hope you have been enjoying Track Talk Radio, and also I hope you've been listening even when I'm not on, because there's a lot of good music that gets played. We represent a lot of people, and then especially if you're from the greater Seattle, Tacoma area, this is your station, man. This is it's from the area, for the area. So I hope the people that are in the damn area are actually showing their support. But if not, use a bum. I do have a live show, man. First thing I want to get into is I saw something funny that I just wanted to say, because I have actually noticed this about a few people. There are a few of y'all. So this thing that my homeboy Mitch posted, and this is just a repost, but it says the Oscar for outstanding performance this year goes to the people who posted those black boxes on Instagram and never said a word again. You'll notice that the title of the show this evening is BLM, Still Riding Strong, because that's what it is. Even though most of you janky, corny ass people posted those black squares on your Instagram and then you went quiet, we're still here, right? Now I know there's a lot of y'all that are really out there doing it for your community. And then shout out to you, especially if you were one of these people who have mixed children. We love you for that. And I hope your kids love you for that. And I hope you are enjoying being on the right side of history if you opted to support it. But if you were one of these assholes that posted that square and then the following day went right back to kissing some celebrity's ass and then posting, facial creams and all this type of stuff, and then, showcasing yacht and all that type of bullshit, you are probably not somebody that we fool. And when I say we, I mean we. And I'm saying that because the support is fake. I had many episode where I talked about fake support, especially when it came to this. It's not something that I'm playing with. And I have seen it. There are literally people that are not giving a damn about this stuff no more. They're ready for it to go away. But guess what? We're not going away. Not going away. Too many years, man. Too many years of all this BS. Now, I see that we have Portland is literally doing its worst impression of what a police state looks like. Now, I'm not sure about all the ins and outs as to why. I mean, I get it why they're there. They're trying to assert and establish dominance. They're trying to harm people, and they're looking for any and every reason that they can to kidnap people. I mean, I'm just saying that based off observation. When you see the videos of people who are armed and in uniform, but are too scared to identify themselves, and they put random people in unmarked vehicles, that's kidnapping. When you don't know who drives the vehicle, that person doesn't identify themselves, and you see a person getting tossed in the back of a vehicle and being moved 15 feet beyond their will, that's kidnapping. Weird. So that's how they're doing it in Portland, apparently. So it's crazy because today I'm at the court hooping, getting my shots up, and the day before there was this random guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, you mind if I rebound for you?" He's like, "I don't really have anything else to do out here," which I thought was kind of a savage comment because his granddaughters were at the skate park. I'm like, fam, you're on grandpa duty. What you mean you don't got nothing else to do out here? That was a really savage comment. And I'm also going to say this. He did well. He was rebounding, but on multiple occasions, my man Charlie definitely told his granddaughters to go back to the skate park. He really enjoyed rebounding. It was so funny. But shout out to those two young ladies. They're out there braving the skate park, riding on the scooters and the skateboards, doing their thing. So shout out to them. But Charlie sees me this morning as I'm leaving the court. And, I asked him, "Hey, how you doing, sir? What's going on? What are you guys up to today?" And he's like, "Well, I'm actually going back home. I'm from Portland." And he immediately says, "Yo, you've seen what happened, right? It's going crazy down there." Older white guy. So I'm thinking the interaction is going to be a little bit weird, because once people start talking all that, like, they get into this type of stuff, sometimes it can get a little bit weird. And a lot of times it get weird for them because I don't care. I'm going to say whatever it is I got to say. But Buddy leads off with, he's like, "My city, they're going crazy." And he goes, "And it's all because of this dummy Trump." And so I'm like, okay, Charlie is with the shits, and then I look down at my man Sneaks. He's got the Air Force Ones high top, or the mids. He got the mid Air Force Ones, the strap undone, pre-laced. I'm like, yo, Charlie's really with the shits probably. And so, you know, he made some comments, but what I appreciated about our interaction is that as we go to part ways, like I said, it was very brief, but, you know, the one thing he said to me, he was just like, you know, I hope that eventually, and I had said, cool, I want cooler heads to prevail. You know, I'm hoping for the same thing. He's like, we got to just get this dummy out of the office. He's like, you know, but also want just things to kind of get back to normal and people just to be happy. I respected that. He just wanted, he wanted a simple solution. I appreciate that because I want the same thing. And I like that, you know, as I went to part ways, you know, the one thing he said to me, he said, please be safe out there, young sir. And I was like, yeah, man, I got you. And then he, you know, kind of chastised me for not wearing my helmet. I don't wear my helmet when I ride my bike. Even though I've been hit by a car before, the park is just so close. Why wear a helmet? That logic is terrible because it's not like it's across the street. It's a half mile at minimum down the road. I probably should wear my helmet. But shout out to Charlie, man. I hope he got home safe, man. I hope the city is not as maybe it's less crazy than it was earlier when I looked at it. But they're over there wilding in Portland, man. And I'm not down for all that because they're saying they're doing it to combat the Black Lives Matter protesters, which is weird to me because it feels like every time we actually see a real BLM movement happening in any type of city, they're peacefully protesting, chilling. Not to say that Portland is not doing that, but my thing is if we all have the right to peacefully protest, why in the F are y'all sending these goons in there to wreak havoc and create more chaos than what you're actually hoping for? You send those types of people in when the shit had hit the fan and it's too much. Now you're saying that the peaceful protest apparently is too much. And then your man, Donnie, he acts like this shit is cool. Like he's trying to make it seem like, oh, we're doing what's necessary. Like, fam, you're making this worse. This is how simple this shit is. All y'all got to do, reform the police training. Put mandates in place that require other cops to speak out on behalf of the corruption that goes on within their precincts. You know how you do that? You start touching those pensions, my nigga. I'm sorry. If you're an officer, you probably hate that I would say some shit like that. But I bet if your pension on the line and it start impacting the money that goes to feeding your family, I bet you'll actually speak up when the person next to you, probably your partner, is acting like a goof and not doing the right thing while he's on the job. What you mean? If I go to my job and I start fucking up, excuse my language, what happens to me? I lose my job. If we're working on a group project, which is essentially what you do when you go out on duty with you and your homeboys, if you're working on a group project and you mess up, don't y'all all get the same damn grade? Yeah. So that right there makes you responsible when you're standing next to your partner while he abuses his authority or her authority. Because we see women doing that shit too. All y'all got to do is change that shit. You want these people to stop protesting on your doorsteps and all that type of shit, walking through your yard and doing all these wild things. Reform the way that you train the police. When you reform the training, you might see some results. And if you require that their interaction within their community and with their community members, it needs to be better. If you require that, and then you get these goofs out that cannot handle those small and simple responsibilities. Once you make those changes, you won't have to deal with a lot of these problems. Come on, man. I get better service from 16-year-old kids at McDonald's than I do from police officers. That's grown-ass adults, man. You mean to tell me that these grown-ass adults can't walk up to people with respect? Hey, how you guys doing? Everything going all right? Hey, just want to let you know I'm here. I'm responding to a problem. And you're probably saying, oh my God, I hear them do that all the time. You don't hear them do that all the time to black people. Because if you were somebody that just said that, you were probably reflecting on an incident where you saw police engaging with a white man or white female. And yeah, sometimes black people do get treated well. I've even had times where cops have treated me well. But that one, maybe 2 times versus the 15 other times where you probably thinking, oh my God, this nigga be running in with the cops a lot. No, Not anymore. When I was young, yes, it used to happen with frequency. That's what happens when you live in an all-white town and they like to harass you because you're a nigga. But when I think about the amount of interactions that I've had, I can literally count on one hand the amount of times those people treated me with respect. It's simple stuff, man. A lot of these people, their first jobs were working in retail and things like that. There's usually jobs that you get when you're young, right? Come on, you ever worked in customer service? That's what all of this shit is. I'm going to treat you with respect. You treat me the same way, and we keep it 100. Everything is cool. It don't have to be all that other shit. So when you walk up on somebody with your hand on your gun, you should not be surprised if somebody start giving you a whole lot of attitude. If I see a person walking up with their hand on their gun toward me, I might have to say something about it. And then when you start asking me all types of questions like, hey, what are you doing over here? Where are you going? Where are you from? What's your name? Da, 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 da. If I know that I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm going to feel a type of way. You can feel free to ask me those questions without treating me like I'm already a criminal before you have any information about me. It's not very hard. Hey, you know what? Let me make this very simple for y'all. You know how y'all treat white people? Just treat black people like that, or people of color. Treat them the same way you treat white people. I just made it as simple as I possibly could for all of you dum-dums who don a badge and act like an asshole. So remember what I said. It's similar to like a group project. If you don't do your part and pull your weight and correct the mistakes when they're being made by your partner, you're going to receive the same grade, which is you're going to be treated like an asshole. You're going to be called corrupt, and we are going to say that you are trash within your role as a civil servant. It's not very hard. You can't be offended if you are willing to sit back and watch these police do these types of things to all these ordinary citizens. Regardless of what they've done, even if they committed a crime, your whole job is just to go apprehend them. It ain't to kill them. It's not to beat them and abuse them. You let the system do that. Now we got to fix the system too. I haven't gotten to that part because you're still in chapter 1 of like a 60 chapter book, every chapter outlining one system at a time that needs to be broken down and rebuilt in order to favor everybody. If you really believe all lives matter, you have to agree that the systems that you have put in place as white people need to be changed. And if you don't agree with that, then you are what we call an idiot. I like it. Well, keep it simple. We ain't gonna cuss you out. You're just an idiot. You're probably someone who's not worth talking to. I love when they say that all lives matter, but then don't understand that like all the systems are not created to be fit for all lives. It's fit for your life, not always all the rest of us. So we're trying to get it to that point. And then once it gets to that point, all this wild shit that be happening won't happen no more. If you really hate the fact that people protest and you want them to shut up, treat them the way they're supposed to be treated. It's not that hard. There are some things that we should all hate as humans. We should hate the fact that it costs $13 for a small box of candy at the AMC. We should hate the fact that Chick-fil-A employees are required to say "my pleasure" after every interaction. I don't like that, okay? That's something that we should hate as people. But we shouldn't actually hate people. There's no point in that. It does you no good. You're wasting your energy. Let's try to reallocate that, reapply that shit. Come on. Y'all got to do better. And like I said, for you dum-dums who don't understand how simple this is, for cops specifically, just treat the people of color the same way you treat the white people. With fucking respect. It's not that hard. Anyway, don't get me started on movie theater prices for their snacks. Why is a bottle of water $9 at the movie theater? A case of water at the Safeway is like $4. A whole case. It's crazy when you used to, I say now we literally say when you used to buy a ticket to the movies and you'll walk in there, and when I would see like 15 people at the snack bar, I'm like, yo, everybody in here is rich. Cause how do y'all just have 60 extra dollars to burn on snacks tonight? Like you didn't just opt to leave the house a little bit earlier and like, dip over to the Dollar Tree to get your candy and your drinks You just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just spend the 60 tonight. That's crazy to me. I was glad when I got older, and when you realize that like a lot of, most, not all girls, but a lot of girls, when you take them on first dates, that whole movie thing was out the window, because they want to talk and they want to get to know you, because they want to make sure that you're not a serial murderer of sorts. And so I was like, bet, not going to the movie, that's perfect, because I don't have the extra $90 to spend on snacks at the snack bar at the movie theater, plus the $20 for the 2 tickets, which is crazy. And then what if this movie's not any good? You mean to tell me I just gave these people like $100 to see this movie, and it's gonna be on Redbox in 3 weeks? And some of y'all is quicker than that because the movie's so damn bad. Yeah, it's a different type of flex. Can you imagine being able to go to the movie theater and literally say to your significant other or your date, like, girl, you can have whatever you want? And I mean whatever. You want 10 packs of candy? I got it. Could you imagine? Bro, that just seems crazy to me. And yes, you're probably thinking, yo, this nigga's broke as hell. Yes. When it comes to, spending excess money on bullshit, let me tell y'all a story about me. Last year, for several weeks consecutive, and then even on the day of, it took me hours to pull the trigger on this, but I spent weeks contemplating whether or not I wanted to buy an add-on for a video game that I have. That cost $17. Every day I went back and forth on it. Should I spend this money? I know it's only $17, but you know what I can do with $17? Do you know what I can do with $90? Because that's how much money you need extra to enjoy the full movie experience. The tickets, popcorn, drink, the whole shit. You have to spend a cold easy. That shit is crazy, bro. I don't have that. Anyway, let me actually get into the show. And let me get back to this first part. Listen, I know there's a lot of people who are like, look, I posted one of those black squares. And if you did it and you're still riding for home team, I appreciate that. And we all probably appreciate that. Like I said, if you were one of those people who literally just posted the square and then went right back to your regular life, and you're not making noise or even remotely upset at the fact that people are trying to sweep this movement under the rug, and not even just the movement, I mean the movement to really impact change, which is now they're trying to sweep this shit under the rug. If you are not upset about that, you are a gigantic ball of corn. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, Kanye West. Kanye West. I know Dave Chappelle went and saw him today, and people are like, oh my God. And I love Dave Chappelle, don't get me wrong. It's not a shade at him at all. But I love how yesterday we were all like, yo, Kanye's a weirdo. He's canceled. We got to get him out of here. And then Dave Chappelle went and saw him in Wyoming. And there are people on the internet are acting like Kanye's fixed now. Like, oh, well, Dave visited him. And Dave kind of went, he had some things a couple years back. Like everything's fixed now, right? No, it's not fixed, man. I said it once, I'll say it again. I said this years ago. Like in the early 2000s, when people used to make jokes about this shit. And when I say early 2000s, I mean like around 2008, 9, 10. The early times. When people used to make jokes about this brother being president, it almost like made me cringe. I'd be like, there's no way you really believe that. There's no way. And I said on my show on Sunday that I think that we should start to strip away. I know it's kind of a joke. And I know because his greatness as a producer, it's solidified. He's certified, everything. There's no touching him when it comes to the music stuff. But I feel like we as people are always like, well, you remember how good Kanye used to be? Well, yeah. Well, okay. We got to let him slide because of all this corny shit he does now. I'm tired of that. Listen, what he has been doing and the comments that he has been making for some time are actually cancel worthy. I'm gonna read you something where, and this young fella, I'm assuming he's young. Whoever is it, Nile Chopper or NLE Chopper? I don't know. I guess he's a new artist. New when I think about how old my ass is. He made a good point. I saw a post where this is what it says. He says, "I think y'all misunderstood what Kanye said, but at the same time, I don't know until he explained himself." He said, "I think he's saying, yes, Harriet Tubman freed the slaves, but we're still under the whites." This is literally, I'm reading a quote, this is where it's a tweet. "We didn't own any land, jobs, anything. Basically free in our eyes, but the system's still against us." I can't say that if that is the mindset, I can't say that that's not somewhat incorrect, because obviously, look, we're in 2020 and look what we're having to do just to get basic, simple respect and love. And on top of that, try to get some of these rights actually lived up to. But at the same time, the way Kanye comes off and then the way he was acting at that rally, bro, there's no way in hell y'all want a person like this to represent this country. I hate the fact that people even say this shit. Why? Why do you want him? You really want somebody who he comes with. The Harriet Tubman thing was crazy. He jumped out the window on that, talking about she never freed the slaves. She just took them to work with other white people. That was a corny comment. And if you did mean something else, you should have clarified in the moment. You don't have the intelligence to do that shit. Because Kanye thinks that he's so far above other people that he just expects you to figure out everything that he's saying and goes on his head. Like people walking around here at freaking ESP or something. Kanye thinks that he is such a genius based on the way that people have praised him that he expects you just to know what he means every time he says something. But then he also expects you to sit there and watch him unravel his own life within his own family. And then he still wants you to vote for him to take care of you and your family. Boy, stop. I don't even have a family like that, but the answer is no. You're not taking care of me and my family. I'm barely taking care of me. And I don't, like I said, I ain't got no damn family, but I ain't letting you touching none of that shit. All right. You are a whole goof right now, my guy. And one visit from Dave Chappelle don't fix none of this bullshit that you've been doing. Handle your stuff at home first. I'm not saying don't come back in what 2024, 2028. Get some more years under your belt. Maybe get away from these goofy ass people that's your family. I know that's tough because maybe there's not a lot of people to lean on in time of need. I understand that. But it seems like you're around some real cornballs. We're going to get to your family later. No disrespect. Hey, kids are beautiful as long as everybody healthy. That's good. But it does seem that the way that the adults within your family kind of play their positions, it seems like they're treating you as if you are their Pinocchio. So that's why I'm going to have to, roast all those asses up in your family. But anyway, Kanye, go get yourself together before you try to get us together, my brother. You just don't have it right now. And that's okay. You might be able to get it. Actually, go apply yourself. Don't be at the rally and you look like Donald. You literally were at the rally arguing with some girl, calling her out for having a mask on. Get out of here with that. Why? Because she challenged you. She made you think. You expect us all to think when you talk, but you're not okay with us forcing you to think when we talk. If you were still in that space with people, you're not cut out. Honestly, what Mr. Chopper said, I hope that is what he meant. I hope that when he said the thing about Harriet Tubman and the slaves, I hope he was talking about the fact that to some degree we aren't as free as we would like to be. And you can kind of tell that how we are treated when we move around as African Americans within America. It's accurate to say, but that's not what Kanye West said. He didn't come back and clarify. He literally got his ass laughed off that damn stage in South Carolina and then immediately went to Twitter, and he literally is acting like our president. He's acting like a spoiled ass little kid that didn't get his way, got grounded, and then went into his room and slammed the door and said, "Fuck you, Dad. I'm moving out. I'm going to run away." That's how he sounds, bro. All that tweeting and shit and all that stuff with your family, bro, you keep that private. You keep that between you and your family. But when you take that to Twitter while you're trying to become the president of the United States, what do you think people are left with when they have to think about you? Right now in this moment, we all think you're hella corny. And then, like I said, Dave goes and visits them, and now we got a ton of people being like, oh, Dave is here. And I love Dave. Yes, Dave probably can convince Kanye to go seek the help and services that in order to get his mind right. But at the same time, Dave ain't Superman. That brother Kanye needs to step up on his own behalf and get his life right. Only he can do that. Dave can't do that shit for him. What else we got? I do not like how Donald Trump sent best wishes to Ghislaine Maxwell. That's how you know he's involved and was satisfied with the services that she provided him, which is freaking sad. The only way your president actually acknowledges a predator and pedophile and garbage ass cunt of a human like Ghislaine Maxwell is if he enjoyed the services he was provided. You should watch Filthy Rich. It's a good documentary. I mean, when they say, oh, a picture can say 1,000 words, a handful of them when you think about Trump and Ghislaine and all these people that they're associated with, Predator, and not that movie, not Predator with Danny Glover, but actual real life predator, pedophile, rapist, molester, abuser. All of these things come to mind. Picture said 1,000 words, right? Yeah. Names on a manifest. It could all be fake. It could all be real. But my thing is like this. If you stand against these things, why would you big these people up, especially under her circumstances? You know why she's wearing an orange jumpsuit right now, why she's handcuffed, why her name is even coming up in news reports. You know why that is. We're not giving her some medal. She hasn't won some award. No. We're only talking about her because she's garbage and she's an abuser, a pedophile, a trash. No, if I called her a trash panda, that would be disrespect to raccoons. She's less than a raccoon. Way less. Ghislaine Maxwell. Get your testimony on tape or on paper and get your ass to the jail. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to see you. I don't know nothing. All right? Nothing. Take your ass to the back, dog. Ugly ass. I don't like it, man. Why you on TV praising a pedophile? Get out of here. Talked about Portland going crazy, man. I can't even believe that, bro. They listen, man. Literally people wearing what looked like military uniforms beating up a Navy vet while he stands there. Apparently he approached them to ask them why they were in the area, and they just said, you know what? Let's mess him up, bro. And they just start hitting him with the baton. I think he broke his hand or broke his arm, had to have screws inserted to sustain some leg injuries. It's a military vet, man. This is a guy who served our country. He's at his first and they out there whooping his ass. And he's white. Sir, you deserve better than that. I wish there was something I could tell you to give you some comfort in hard times. But at the same time, if anything, the only thing I really can say to you is welcome to the team, my brother. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you get healthy soon. And listen, those people are out there right now riding on your behalf. So everybody that's probably getting beat up all day today, getting arrested, they're down there because they're not feeling the fact that these armed guards or armed forces, whatever these cornballs are, went down there and started tearing. And I know the city was probably already being slightly torn apart by protesters anyway. But at the same time, the destruction becomes even worse when you add these goofs to the mix because they're not there keeping the peace. They're there making sure the flame stays blazing, boy. So If you're down in Portland, please be safe, man. Keep your head on a swivel, because some of these people are really just jumping out on you for nothing, whooping your ass and throwing you in the back of a freaking Astro van. And like, look, they not taking you to Baskin Robbins to, hand out banana royales, my G. They're probably taking you down to the dock. So, hey, listen, please be careful. Anyway, man, we're live on Track Talk Radio. It's Tuesday, July 21st, man. This your man, DJ Cold Cuts, a.k.a. DJ Pocket Biscuit, a.k.a. DJ Beef Snack, a.k.a. DJ Wheat Loaf, a.k.a. DJ Meatloaf, and a.k.a. DJ Big Loaf, and a.k.a. Eat Your Grandma's Cookie. Not cookies, plural. The baked kind. Y'all stop being nasty. All right, man. We're going to get into this music. We'll be right back. We got some little scrappy, no problems. I got hella Wayne tracks playing tonight. We got Nymphos, Comfortable, Gossip. And then we got some Lloyd Banks, some Mike Jones, some Rick Ross, some Snoop D-O double G. I got some Stacey Adams playing tonight. Maybe some Game. I gotta have Game on here. Shout out, man. It's a rap heavy tonight. I don't think there's any R&B on this playlist tonight. But anyway, man, let's get back into the music, and the show will return shortly, shorty. Well, that shit is crazy, man. The next story I'm about to do, I had to do an update. We talked about the young lady who is, where's she at, Michigan? And the judge had put her in jail because she failed to do a lot of her online homework. And then I found out a couple things about this young lady. And now I jumped out the window and said some crazy things about this judge last week when I talked about this. Now I do not feel bad whatsoever based on the circumstances for this child. And then after what I saw happen today, I'm extra mad about this shit. So when the show come back in about 2 or 3 songs, we're going to get into that. What else we got on deck for tonight? I'm going to give you a weird conspiracy that I have around this Judge Esther Salas. Unfortunately, RIP to her son, and then her husband apparently is in stable condition, but apparently she is attached to some, finance case that involves Jeffrey Epstein, and apparently somebody pulled up on her home dressed as a FedEx guy, killed her son, and then wounded her husband, and she didn't get shot or harmed because I guess she was in the basement. But we're going to talk about that because I have a crazy little theory about that. We also got info on Fox News, man. I guess they have former employees coming out saying there's, misconduct within the workplace. I mean, I'm not surprised, bro. It's Fox News. Look how these people be acting. We're going to get into that, man, because Tucker Carlson's involved and he's a complete garbage human. So we're definitely going to talk about that. I thought it was funny that I seen in Kentucky, we have 2 people, these 2 white folks. They don't want to obey the quarantine protocols. Judge put them on house arrest. You got sick. We figured out that you have coronavirus. You don't want to stay your ass at home. You're going to be on house arrest. Literally put ankle monitors on them. That shit is wild, bro. All because you just don't want to stay home for a few days. Crazy. So we're going to talk about that. Let's see. We got a video of Buddy committing a robbery and literally telling the people he's either holding them at gunpoint or fist point or something. Literally telling them he's doing this because he didn't get a stimulus check. Listen, all it takes is one knucklehead to get a whole group of people going, man. If the government knows what's good for them, they'll actually start sending out more stimulus checks because some of these people are really hurting. And then you're going to start seeing some of these neighborhoods. And I know people are strapped up. And if you act up, you're going to end up getting backed up by like a Mack truck. But either way, if you're not keeping your head on a swivel, some of these people are so desperate and hungry, they're going to pull up on you. The government could fix that if they just give some of these people some money. And I know it's not that simple, but my solution is $8,000 a month for everybody. You take it out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. He made $13 billion on Monday. He can afford it. Get out of here. Ooh. You know when the water be slapping, oh my God. That's some good water. I feel like Bobby Boucher just dropped that off at the crib, boy. Oh, Bobby, that's some good ass water. But it was the stuff that what's her name gave him at the end when he got laid out in that last football game. Wasn't that shit he was serving in the beginning? That shit is that shit from that came from that little thing in old girl's pocket. You know what I'm saying? That good shit. And if you haven't seen the movie Waterboy, you literally have no idea what I'm talking about right now. And I feel sorry for your entire life. Right now I'm watching, I don't know what I'm watching. YouTube videos, basketball stuff. It looks like they were playing pig or horse or something. And as soon as I back out of the YouTube, my face pops up. You are live. Oh, thanks, man. And shout out to the 4 people that are watching this. Listen, y'all should share this with your friends. Tell your friends to tune in. Bring your friends. I'm going to bring my friends. And we're going to turn up. And we're going to get it on the night. Hey, Ma, what's up? A slot? All right. I don't know the rest of that. What did he say? You smoke? I smoke? It's something. I don't know. It wasn't that great of a song. But everybody loved it. And back in 2003, if you said that you thought that song was whack, you probably wouldn't have a lot of friends, man. That was back. I feel like back then, a lot of people they were too afraid to be different. I remember listen, this is a crazy story. There was a kid on the school bus that literally tried to fight me. This kid named Sean tried to fight me on the bus because when Usher's record, Yeah, first came out, I said I didn't like it. On the bus, I was just telling him, this song's okay. It's not that good. But he literally stood up and tried to fight me. The bus driver had to pull that thing over. He was willing to fight me for that, bro. What do you mean? It's a good record now. But I would be lying to you if I was to say that I didn't think that it was a little bit overplayed when it first came out. You literally heard that song every 10 minutes. It's a good song. But it wasn't that damn good to me. Not at the time. But I couldn't believe it. Buddy literally stood up and was like yelling and cussing me out in my face. Talking about he's going to beat my ass because I said I didn't like this song. Boy, Sean, you was a trip. You wasn't beating nobody's ass, bro. Come on. Usher would have been laughing at you. He'd have been like, bro, this song ain't that good. You willing to like catch a fade on the school bus over this shit? Hell no. That would have been too funny, boy. I would have felt bad having to put you to sleep over that. Mad because I didn't like that Usher record. And even still to this day, when I go through that album, I never listen to that song. The best song on there is Confessions Part 1 on the special or the deluxe edition or special edition version, whatever it is. The original Confession. That is the hardest record on there. And then Confessions Part 2, and then Burn, and then Superstar. And even the interlude to Superstar is more fire than that Yeah record. Just my opinion. I mean, Yeah is at least better than Confessions Part 3 with Shine calling from jail. Don't act like y'all don't remember that. Remember how horrible that was? Why did we have Buddy spitting bars on a jail call on a freaking album? Nah, I don't know why people were doing that. Yo, I know we got to get my man. He got to submit his verse from the payphone and stop, bro. Stop. Y'all should have just tried to get him on work release. Work be at the studio, come to the studio, record his verse, go back to the thing. Don't try to be on the payphone being like, yeah, I'm spitting, I'm in jail, I'm tripping, I'm lit. Nah, don't do that, bro. Especially for a great rapper like Sean. I feel like that was disrespect to him. Don't have his verse on there like that, bro. That's terrible. See, even in the comments, they know. So that's what I'm saying. It was disrespect to Sean. I'm not hating on Sean. Sean is a legend. Don't get me wrong. But having my man call from jail to spit that verse was ass. Not one of the finer moments of R&B hip hop collabs. That's for sure. We gonna get it on tonight. All right, let me go to Trizzy Track Talk Radio. All right. Nymphos, that's a classic record. Who was on that? They got a little random verse from Tupac, which is his verse, I think, on Nymphos is the one that's from What's Your Phone Number? And then Ludacris is on that record too with Lil Wayne. That's classic. And then we got Lil Wayne, Comfortable. I actually, believe it or not, I think that's one of Wayne's best songs. When I think of how he was spitting the verses, man, he actually did his thing on that Comfortable record, especially that last verse. The last verse is really, that shit is fire. I'm gonna say this. I've been thinking about this over the last few days. I was somebody for a long time, and I have made this acknowledgement on past shows about other things within, like Steph Curry. I think I said this about Drake. I will say this now about Lil Wayne as well. I'm somebody who was very critical over the way he used to rap back in the day, and I think I did talk about this on a past show. Because I know I did, because I talked about it when I was talking about this new EP that he had dropped recently, Wheezy Flow. This shit is fire, bro. I can't stop listening to it. I want to give Wayne his flowers. Wayne, I was wrong. I understand why people put you where you are. You were not my greatest of all time, but at the same time, I can recognize that there are a lot of records that Lil Wayne is on that I love, and they go back to the mixtapes. One of my favorites, Gossip, Upgrade, that freestyle's crazy. Blooded is crazy. These are records I still listen to. But my thing was always this. When people would bring his name up and they would want to talk about his skills, I would always be like, well, I mean, come on, you know, people been writing for him and look how different his flow was and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, is it real? Is it fake? Like, is somebody doing that and he's just the voice? Da-da-da-da-da. Even if any of that shit is true, I'm going to say this. Wayne has been in the rap game since the late 90s. The content that he putting out right now is sounding better than most of these young people that were trying to transition and potentially take his spot. It can't happen. He's still better than all of them. And they're all his little mini-me's. Wayne shit is still fire, bro. So I want to give Wayne his roses, man. Shout out to you for being an OG in the game. You are absolutely a legend. Even on the times that I would somewhat argue against you, I still love all your stuff. Like 500 Degrees, one of my favorite albums. Lovely, that's one of my favorite records by Wayne of all time. If you have not heard Lovely, that's a classic record. And that 500 Degrees tape is actually one of my favorite albums. And people think that's bullshit because that's not hailed as one of Wayne's best bodies of work. I love it though. But shout out to Wayne, man. We got to give more people their props while they are here. If I think of more people that I've been throwing shade at, I'll give them their respect. I have a whole thing planned for my podcast to do about Braun is over because I'm still again, he's not my good. But Braun will be somebody that I will have to give these flowers to as well and acknowledge as well. And it just comes with the fact that I've just decided to grow the fuck up. Like, we got to stop ignoring all this talent that all these amazing people have. What can you do about it? But shout out to Lil Wayne, man. If you haven't heard that Wheezy Flow EP, and I'm going to say this, until I listen to Multiple Flows, which is featuring Lil Uzi Vert, I had never, ever heard him do any music at all. I just know what Buddy looks like. Lil Uzi, I like it. Got a new fan, player. I don't know who you are or if you've been hot or whatever, but you killed it on that Multiple Flows record. Oh, let's bring back the radio station. Get money. Yo, welcome back to the Meemco Jackson show. Here we go. One more flow. You already know. That's terrible. Like I said, I'm still in practice mode. Anyway, welcome back to the show, man. I was just in here yapping. I'm trying to make sure that I go back and right all my wrong. No, I'm not doing that. I won't ever apologize for any of the hate or shade that I've thrown at people because it has never been personal about them because I don't know any of these people personally. It's just been about their craft during that time when I have talked about them. Maybe I have said some of these people are not as cool as everybody thinks. That's just been my opinion. But at the same time, I'm always somebody who remains open and receptive to the idea of change. And especially if I'm presented with new information, you had to change it. So listen, I can name Steph Curry. I wasn't all that big of a fan of. He's nice. Drake, he's nice. Wayne, nice. I mean, and in reality, it's not that I was saying that I didn't think they were not. There are just certain things about like their projects, and like when people are like, "Oh, this is the hottest shit," I'd be like, "This shit is just okay." That's just my opinion. But again, it's never a shot at them personally because I don't know them personally. But at the same time, I feel like it is appropriate that we give them their roses while they're here, not try to do it after they end up fading away, man. Because that shit seems lame. There's a lot of people who I know that everybody wishes they probably could give more props to while they were here rather than after they're gone. I mean, obviously it's lovely to keep their names alive and all that, but like, damn, some of these people really are truly talented. Even friends within your own circle who are making music, playing sports, just doing art, or being excellent coders, and or all, you know, people who are in medical school and doing all these things, or people who are killing themselves staying up for 22 hours a day doing freaking law classes and shit like that. Like, give these people props now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, any and everybody who's working on their craft right now, honing that shit, building it, getting better every day, give them their props now. Don't wait until after they get on. Don't wait until after they end up dying. Give that shit to them now. Because some of these people are like this fucking close to giving up because a lot of the people that are even within their own circle don't show them any love. And I hope and I pray to God that you do not do that. Remember, if your friends aren't showing you love, get some new friends. You don't need that type of negativity in your life, because if you're still waking up every day and you're putting your best foot forward and you're doing your job and getting into your bag and really getting after it, that means you're killing. You're exceeding expectations because you're not supposed to be here. Your shit's supposed to be done the second you started. Your 15 minutes of fame is already up. So every day that you're still doing it and you're continuing to pursue that shit, you're exceeding expectations. Stay the course. Keep grinding. You got this shit. Get money. New money. Yo, Rich Boy. He was from Mobile, Alabama. Oh my God. Him, Polo the Dawn back in the day, those records were slapping. Rich Boy selling crack. Boy, throw some D's on that bitch. Don't get me started. And that Polo the Dawn verse, that shit was fire. I think people slept on him as a rapper. And I know he was not a rapper, he was a producer, but he will come on every once in a while and he'll give you 4 or 5 bars where you'd be like, oh, okay, slapping. I see you. The good old days. Shout out to Rich Boy. Hope he's doing well. Anyway, I don't know. What is Rich Boy up to? I have not seen or heard an update on him for what seems like a decade. So if someone give me an update on Rich Boy, if something has happened, I hope that I was not disrespectful. I literally just don't know what Buddy's doing. But anyway, let's get to this goof out in Michigan, this judge. We talked about her last week. I'm super heated right now over this situation because I think it's absolutely. Listen, I've been trying to limit the amount of cuss words that I say on the show. We want to show some growth and, show that we're not a complete idiot. But damn, man, come on with this shit. You really got a 15-year-old girl who is special needs also sitting in jail, and today her bail was denied, all because she hasn't completed her online homework. Come on, man. Y'all really care about that homework that much? And there's absolutely no other alternatives to help this young lady out, to help her get the homework turned in? She's just sitting in jail right now. She's 15 years old. Hey, what you in here for? Shit, shit. Look, these fucking cops can't hold me, dog. State can't hold me, dog. I'm in here for not doing my online homework, dog. They can't hold me, dog. I'm gonna be out in 3 to 5, dog. Come on, man. Online homework, really? How many white kids literally right now across the country have not turned in their homework? Even some of my friends who are parents. Be genuinely honest with me. How many of your kids have actually turned in every single piece of their homework since this pandemic started? I'll wait. Wait, do I have a crickets thing on here? I don't know. Maybe I do or maybe I don't. But either way, y'all need to stop playing, because you know that there are people who have children like that who have not turned in any homework. Are they sitting in jail right now? No. You know why? Because they're on summer vacation, enjoying the easy life. Because in their world, they don't go to jail for not completing their online homework. Special needs. She's 15. This is for online homework, just in case you were wondering. I said some very mean things about that judge last week when we talked about this on this show, and now I really don't give a shit. Lady, you're an asshole. That's it. You're just an asshole. You're a miserable. See you next Tuesday. CUNT. That's what you are. Because you really have a 15-year-old sitting in a cell right now over some online homework. And if the state press charges, oh my God. In my mind right now, I'm wishing some of the most terrible and awful things that could possibly happen to humans. The state opts to continue to press charges on this girl. If they follow through with that up here, y'all are getting the business. I hope you know that. I'm not going to share because then all of this will probably get cut off. But you know what? Y'all deserve that. If y'all really going to try to bring this girl up on trial for online homework, stop it. Terrible. This is America, people. Judge Esther Salas. So I don't know if you guys know about this story, but apparently when did this happen? This was over the weekend, I think. So on Sunday. Apparently on Sunday, somebody dressed up as a FedEx employee arrived to the judge's house. Her son answered, he got killed. And then I guess the husband also was close to the door. He got shot. The suspect ran or fled the scene. They think that it was a hit on the judge, who is the wife, and Esther was apparently in the house, but in or doing something where she was just out of range. This is a crazy story because then you find out that her son was 20 years old. He got killed. And then the father was injured, like I said. They were investigating the shooting. And then you hear that it was a person who's impersonating a FedEx delivery man. They said that this judge is working on some case that's attached to Jeffrey Epstein. Right there for me, when I saw that on Sunday, I was like, okay, that's a red flag. Then today I see an update where it says gunman who killed Judge Esther Salas' son identified as a lawyer and men's rights activist. So now you have lawyers who are just they're tired of the system, and apparently they're going out of their way to get revenge of some sort. So this is weird. Okay, so they're saying that this guy's name is Roy Den Hollander, lawyer and men's rights activist. Hollander, whose website calls for clients to help battle the infringement of men's rights by feminists, was found dead in Rockland, New York today from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. So that sounds sketchy too. Lawyer, fake FedEx delivery driver, self-inflicted gunshot wound. All this shit sounds weird. It sounds like a terrible movie that's about to unfold. Investigators believe Hollander shot himself hours after an attack on Salas's North Brunswick, New Jersey home. A gunman dressed as a FedEx employee opened fire when the door was opened by Salas's son Daniel and her husband. Her husband Mark, who was shot, remains in stable condition. Okay, shout out to Mark. We hope you pulled through, buddy. The shooting happened just days after Salas was assigned to a case linked to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Hollander also had a case that was to appear before Salas, and I guess he was challenging something within her court. So here's my thing. This literally feels like a ton of shitty movies that I've watched where I'm going to give you my conspiracy on it. Here's what I think. I think, obviously, knowing that the judge has a case dealing with Epstein, I think that she has heard information, maybe not that it would matter, because obviously it probably is stuff that couldn't be allowed. But at the same time, rich people like to tie up loose ends. Maybe she knows something that she's not supposed to know. They also have this other lawyer who probably has dirt on him. I'm willing to bet that someone approached him. They know things about him and they put him in a situation where it was either you do this or it's your family. He goes to do it, but he hesitates when he sees how horrible and hard this shit probably is, because he probably isn't a killer. They literally say that Buddy opened the door and then the guy just opened fire. Probably wasn't even aiming, probably didn't know what he was doing, and then he ran away. Self-inflicted gunshot wound, you can maybe say, well, he's just so heartbroken over the crime that he's committed and he can't live with himself. I don't know, fam. All of this stuff seems like just a little too sketchy, and you're probably thinking, oh, like, what a coincidence or something. Nah, fam, I don't believe in none of that. This all seems like a setup. I don't know. Maybe it is just as simple as he just didn't like her as a judge and wanted to get some get back. But how many lawyers just be throwing it all away? You mean to tell me he just woke up and was like, you know what? F lawyering today. I'm done being rich. I'm done working for myself or this rich firm that I work for. And I'm done, advocating for men's rights. I'm just going to throw it all away. And I'm going to go take out this judge and her family. And then you know what I'm going to do? Because I know that I won't be able to live with myself. I'm going to kill myself. Do you really think that was something that happened? I'm not seeing that. I feel like it's more likely that Buddy is caught up in some BS. He either knows something or somebody has some serious dirt on him, and they were like, look, you do this or we do you. I don't know. Men's rights is not a thing. Leslie Knope. Parks and Rec. Such a classic show. I just don't know, man. All that shit seems too crazy. Judge Esther, our prayers and condolences go out to you losing your son. Hope your husband is able to make a speedy recovery. I can't imagine that life is easy for you both right now. I'm sure no parent is ever planning to have to bury their own child. So definitely sending prayers your way. To the gunman. God, I wonder if he left a note. You are a sucker for this. Why would you do this, bro? Listen, this probably sounds horrible to say. Men, I know I'm a man. But listen, if you really were advocating for the rights of other men and you were why throw it all away? And also, I hope you didn't kill her because she potentially was threatening your rights. Absurd, because men literally have the most free passes between the two. I'm saying it's only two because I'm just from the old school. Men versus women. But either way, you men are still always at the top of the food chain, no matter what. White men, the rest of men, women, black women. Come on, man. We got enough fucking rights. Excuse my language. I just gotta say it, man. Because if you ended up trying to take out her family because she was threatening your right, that is crazy, bro. It really ain't that serious out here. And if your whole stance is that you're just trying to protect men's rights against feminists, like I don't know. I don't know what your cases you were working on, what you were doing, but if you really believed in what you were doing and you were advocating for the rights of men like you say you were, going to kill somebody and then killing yourself ain't getting the job done. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. The guy's a weirdo. Anyway, what is next? Fox News, misconduct. Are we surprised that we're old now? More than ever, we're just in a space where all we hear is about misconduct. I got another story that I'm about to do in regards to misconduct on the freaking job at Disney, Fox News, all of it. Fox News hit with a lawsuit alleging sexual misconduct by well-known employees, including Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson, both of who they look like they're people that got to beg for it and try to take it. They don't look like it comes easy. I'm sorry, but these look like two guys that are probably out there doing that, scouring the earth for girls and then figuring out ways to finesse them out of their draws. That looks like these two goofs. Anyway, Fox News has been hit with a lawsuit alleging sexual misconduct by its top executives and employees. On Monday, a complaint was filed in the New York federal court alleging sexual misconduct by some of its longtime employees, including Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson. The Hollywood Reporter reports. The lawsuit comes from Jennifer Eckhart, a former associate producer on Fox Business Network and the suit's co-plaintiff. In the document, she alleges that she was raped by White House chief correspondent Ed Henry, who was fired by Fox News earlier this month. The other co-plaintiff is Kathy Eru. I probably mispronounced your last name, Shawty, but my apologies. Who claims the company provided a hostile work environment to women workers. So look, on July 1st, 2020, Fox News disclosed to the public that it had terminated Mr. Henry based on the findings of an internal investigation and purported to take credit for acting appropriately. The complaint from the women reads, however, nothing could further be from the truth. In reality, Fox News knew that Mr. Henry had engaged in sexual misconduct as far back as early 2017. At that time, when Fox News was conducting a company-wide investigation into issues of sexual harassment, multiple women came forward to complain that Mr. Henry had engaged in sexual inappropriate conduct towards them. This is crazy, bro. Says Eckhart was allegedly raped back in 2017 while in a hotel room after the two met up for drinks. 2 years prior, Henry allegedly tried to romance the woman by forcing a kiss on her and convinced her to have sex with him in order to keep her career. She adds in the document that Henry assaulted her months later in the Fox News New York offices. Damn. This is crazy. So Henry's lawyer says the evidence in this case will demonstrate that Mrs. Eckhart initiated and completely encouraged the consensual relationship. No offense, but when I was talking about that last story, the reason why I said that the guy who's advocating for the men's rights, like he need to cool out, is because of shit like this. This woman has come out and said these things have happened to her. And then all the guy has to do is get a lawyer, and then they're automatically just placing blame on the female. We all, I'm not going to say we all, because a lot of these men are stupid as hell. Yo, my man Jared is in the chat. J Cavs, what up, baby? Women can have sex with whoever they want to, whenever they want to, because they hold the power and the keys to the fucking car. Men do not have that power. So for me, when I hear these stories, I'm always likely to believe the accuser because I know and I have seen how men act. Some of these men, even with the money, power, and access, they act so desperate and they're such simp and they're so fucking thirsty that they have to take it. And because they have no game, and the women that they try to go for have zero interest in them in most cases. It's easy when you're a man of power to be like, well, if you want this job, you better get on those knees. It's easy to do that. You put that woman in that position to where she has to make a choice. I'm not going to blame her for the choice that she has to make, because there's a person who's trying to remain in control and in a position of power. You're probably thinking what I'm saying is crazy, but come on, let's be honest, man. You really think a lot of these females are out here struggling to find dudes? Half the time they don't be wanting these people. Come on, you look at Sean Hannity and fucking Tucker Carlson or whatever these niggas' names are. Look at these two dudes. Come on, man. Do you think they're just rolling in it? Stop it. Stop it. Come on, man. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy, but in this situation, I'm more likely to believe these ladies, because look at these two bozos. But hey, if the man has a good lawyer, if he can pay the money, got to remember, defense attorneys are listed as garbage for a reason. They're not there to defend the truth. They're just there to defend the client and take the money. If you know anything about a defense attorney, you know that to be true. They want the money. They don't care about the victim. They don't even care about the client. And they definitely don't even care about the truth. They only care about making sure that you don't put them in jail. That way the check don't bounce. We'll see how this story unravels, but who knows, man? Look, it's rich white guys. They can make anything happen, which is terrible. And it's unfortunate. It's why we're in some of the positions that we're in now. Walt Disney fires top ABC News executive Barbara Fadida. I guess that's her name. Following racist remarks. I laughed at this one, though. But this is what I'm going to say for Barbara, though. Barbara, you're an idiot. And I'm going to tell you because I've been an idiot. You created a hostile work environment by having a shitty attitude when you showed up for work every day. I'm not even getting to the comments yet. I'm telling you this because I have been somebody who actually, even though they classify it as me being laid off due to budget cuts, I'm willing to bet that the reason why I was cut from one of my jobs was because my attitude was shitty. Even if I was good at my job, and I was great at my job, nobody could ever say I'm not. But my attitude was shitty. And I helped maintain a hostile work environment. Not intentionally, but just something that my stupid ass did. There's literally somebody in the chat who can confirm it. I had a bad attitude when I worked at this job. And they probably let me go because of that. Barbara, you messed up by being in those meetings and on conference calls, being rude as shit and disrespectful. And then when you add in racial comments and little BS like that, were you really thinking you were going to maintain that position within Disney while you were acting like a freaking monster? Heck no. Nah, one thing I learned the hard way, fam. If you're going to be at your job treating people like shit, even on this show, I had people who worked on this show. They don't work on this show anymore, mainly because I had a bad attitude. Those are two examples that I actually seen in my face. And that's what made me want to be like, you know what? I'm not trying to do that no more. Nobody wants to work with somebody who's an asshole. And that's coming from an asshole. Barbara, you should have done better. You're complete garbage. Let me read what you did, though. According to something, Fadida's termination came after she was placed on administrative leave following accusation, of making racially insensitive remarks. The company then launched an investigation over the alleged racist comments. Let's see. Peter Rice, who is the Disney's television chairman, and he's the one who announced that the news division, talent and business affairs executive, Barbara Fadida, was fired. So Rice sent out a company-wide email informing everyone that outside counsel completed the investigation, which concluded that Fadida would no longer be a member of the ABC family. In light of the overall findings, we have determined that she can no longer serve in a leadership role and will not be returning to ABC News. It's because you created a hostile work environment. The investigation discovered that Fadida, who oversaw newsroom inclusion and held hiring power, made some of the unacceptable racially insensitive comments attributed to her. She was ill-mannered and often used inappropriate language. Bro, I'm telling you, if you... I'm not laughing. I know that it's not funny. I'm laughing because just in that moment in my head, I'm thinking, bro, you know how stupid you were? Even if you were stressed about your job, you were pissed off at people because they're not meeting deadlines, or even if you feel like your supervisor sucks a complete asshole, even if you feel that way, it's on you how you show up to work every day. You make that choice when you get out of that car and walk into that building, whether you're going to be nice and be in a good mood and treat everybody with respect in the way you want to be treated, or if you're going to treat them like an asshole. I went to work so many days pissed off about my circumstances, and I played myself out of that job. It probably was the best thing that happened to me because my opportunities since then have, been much better and they've been more fulfilling for me. But I honestly can look back at one of these jobs and say I completely fucked that up. And not just one. I think this has happened to me on multiple occasions. I've not been fired or let go on multiple occasions, but I feel like my circumstances at the job And the reason why I became uncomfortable in a lot of those environments was because of my own doing, the way I carried myself, the way I acted. Yeah, I might have been great to the people that I worked closely with, who are my friends or people that I, respected or held in high regard. But to some of the people that actually mattered, when I was acting like an asshole, that shit come into play when people are looking at, hey, we got to make some budget cuts. Where should we be cutting? Oh, let's cut the nigga that always has a bad attitude. Or let's cut the person that can't seem to not say the F word while he's at work. I was not the only person cussing. I just was the only person who will cuss while a lot of people are around. But either way, I learned my lesson the hard way. Barbara, you had a much better paying job than I did. You pretty much just threw your whole damn life away because you're being fired on such a big scale and also via the internet, and it's from Disney. And for racially insensitive comments, it's going to be hard for you to find work somewhere else, shawty. Even if you felt that way, you have the opportunity and you should be capable of enough of putting your customer service face on, smiling, kissing ass, being respectful, going to and from work with no fucking problems. You want to be racist? Do that shit in your car by yourself when nobody's listening. Get it all out then, before work and after work. Don't do it at your job. There's no place for that, especially if you value your job. Or how about this? Just don't be racist. It's not that hard. You idiot. God, people like this are so dumb. I was so dumb. Why was I acting like an asshole at work? What's the point of that? 0 point in that. Barbara, I'm finna apply Jack in the Box. You might as well come work with me. You know what I'm saying? We'll flip these burgers together, shawty. Anyway, let's see. What else we got? You know what? Well, we only got about 10 minutes of the live stream, and then it's going to be music for the rest of the way out. So let's see. Shout out to my man for committing the robbery because he didn't get a stimulus check. I know that sounds weird, like I condone that shit. I'm not condoning thievery. But they do tell you to go after what you want, follow your dreams, hustle hard. Let me stop making jokes. It's not yes, Buddy was stealing. We don't condone stealing on the show. Obviously, that's bad news. It's terrible. But the circumstances right now are so crazy for some people. I don't know, man. Like, we see this all the time when you have people who grow up in project housing and they grow up in circumstances that are in homeless people. These circumstances are so bad that when your back is against the wall, you will do whatever it takes to feel some relief and reprieve. You want to try to make a come up, even if it's a small one and only for an hour or two. People are going to be willing to do whatever it takes. Like I said, I don't condone stealing because I don't want people coming and stealing out of my pockets. I don't have a lot, but I'll split it with you before you actually need to come take it from me because I'm not greedy like that. I don't ever be having a lot, but I'm always willing to give what I have because I hate to see people in fucked up circumstances. And this is somebody who's slept on park benches, been homeless, slept in the car. I've done all these things. I've had a lot of people help me out, take care of me, lend a helping hand, do all the wonderful things. I'm not saying that I haven't, but I have these hard times where I felt like, listen, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. I have not robbed. I'm not a bank robber. I'm not doing no crazy stuff like that. But my man, I get it, bro. Times are hard. What if you got a kid who need medicine and all these things? Like, I know some people from their high horse, and they're from their little pedestal and their top floor window, they look down on things like this and people like this. Oh, what a garbage human. Can you believe it? He has to steal. Freaking degenerate and this criminals. Oh my God, get him out of here. Put him on a boat or a ferry, whatever's the cheaper of the two options, and send them back to wherever they come from. They're over here stealing. I mean, that's easy to say when you got 50 extra racks in the bank and this person just has 50 rats at their house. That's it. They're trying to feed their kids and the 50 rats that they spend the night with every night. You don't think at some point Buddy's going to be like, look, it's time to come up quick, man. Bills got to get paid. We need to eat. My kids are starving. Shoes need to be on people's feet. All these things. Hard not to blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not condoning it. I wish that we could get to a place where people never, ever had to do this. We have enough resources to help everybody out. Did you hear what I said earlier on Monday? Jeff Bezos made an extra $13 billion. He can literally divvy that money out, and every single person on the North American continent can be taken care of, especially through pandemic time. He made $13 billion. $13 billion. And he's hoarding that money while my man is out here holding people up because he didn't get a $1,200 stimulus check. Bugs me out the way we treat people in this country, bro. They make it hard as a motherfucker for you to live out here. And they still expect you to do right every single day. I'm half tempted to just be like, hey, yo, my man, go get your money any way you can, homie. Do what you got to do, fam. You want to say that to people. As long as you ain't holding me up, fam, go get it, fam. You know what I'm saying? You want to do that. But at the same time, it's like, no, because I don't want you to compound your problems. If you have kids who are really hurting, I don't want you going to jail, because then how are you going to provide for those kids? Maybe they'll get lucky and they go to a good home. But at the same time, we know how fucked up the foster care system is. Who knows what's happening to these kids? They need you as a parent, but you as a parent, sometimes you need help. And we as people should band together and actually help people more than hurt them. I've seen more people come together more than ever, but only when the pandemic hits. Why not just every Tuesday or Thursday, we all just come to fucking together, shit, and do more? I'm just saying random days. Y'all can do it during my shows for all I care. But at least we're helping people. Shit. Why does it take a major catastrophe for us to finally be like, oh, I didn't see you there. Let me help you up. And then you want to help people up. But then also like put conditions on it. You're forcing people to go out and rob and do all these things and hold motherfuckers up and just not act right. You're forcing them to do that. We should do better by our people. America's so great, but we have all these little problems that we somehow have not figured out. Shit is pathetic, bro. Oh, okay. Shout outs, man. All right, man. We got to the end of the show. The show was lit, man. I'm glad we recorded this one because I didn't record Sundays, but Sundays was lit too. Shout outs. Shout out to me. Hell yeah. Shout out to me for having a good show. You got a good show because I showed up. Shout out to me. And shout out to Black. Everything. I don't know. Shout out to my sister. My sister is about to be on a show, I think, this upcoming week. She is somebody who's an essential worker, works in the healthcare field. So she's going to go on a show and talk about her experiences during the pandemic and, you know, how work has been, all those things. She's a little bit nervous, she says, to be on camera. But listen, Gabby, if I can do it, you can do it because you're way better than me, homie. Stay up, man. You got this shit. I look forward to being able to see that. So shout out to my wonderful, beautiful sister and her wonderful kids, my niece and nephew, always wilding. Shout out to my wonderful brother, his beautiful wife, and their wonderful, amazing, beautiful 2 daughters. My whole family is apparently doing well. I don't know what my mother is doing. Shout out to my moms, my grandma, my cousin. Just shout out to all my Black people. I mean, all of them. Shout out to Markel. The project I am right now still going strong. Listen, we're about to go into, I think she's about to go into round 2 of like recruiting people to be a part of the project. I got about 20 people we about to have lined up for this. And y'all better not flake because I seen how y'all was drooling over those photos of me the other day talking about, yo, where you get those done at, fam? I'm trying to put you on. All you have to do is show up and be your blackest self, which is exactly what Markel is looking for. Within reason, because some of y'all be trying to turn up, man. It'd be just a random Monday evening, and you be trying to turn up on people. They're not ready for all that. But yeah, shout out to Markel, great project. It's only Tuesday, man. I got 2 more shows this week, so stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot more Hopefully some updates on the project, more photos of me, of course. So check my IG, follow me on all the stuff, man. If it's not Memecool Jackson, then it's Memecool Jackson Entertainment. That's only like that for the Twitch thing for Starters on the Bench podcast. That's every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check out the Memecool Jackson show, which is every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, man. Listen, this last thing I'm about to talk about, I have not named this yet, but I do have a new series that I'm dropping, and it will be between both of the shows. And what that means is I'm going to give people, it'll be their choice on which show they get to come on. And they get to talk about it as Black entrepreneurs, and they're going to get to talk about their project, their craft, what they're doing, where they plan to go, but also get to riff on current events. The reason why you have the option to pick between shows is that the radio show is different from the podcast. And so the podcast is all about sports, video games, books, and music. If that's more your avenue, more your lane, I would love for you to come on that one. But if you feel more comfortable coming on the Memecool Jackson show, which we also tackle current events, but it's more of like the more serious stuff and some of the craziness of our world. If you feel more comfortable coming on, talk about that, you can do that as well. I'm doing it's going to be multiple parts within the series, but I'm doing 10 people to start. Pause. I want to host 10 people on the show to come sell their stories, build their brands, talk about everything that they're working on, and just, big themselves up. And I want you to come on this show and be black, because that's what I love. That's what we're looking for. So email me if you or someone would be a good fit for this new series that I'm doing. The email is memecooljackson@gmail.com. That's Gmail for all you weirdos. I always say Gmail. It's funnier. Always trying to be funny, man. But anyway, email me. Let me know. I'm looking. It doesn't matter what you do. If you feel like you want to be on and you want to talk about the projects you're working on or the education that you're getting, which is going to lead you to a great place and create, opportunities for others and help build Black businesses, or you are a Black businessman or woman yourself, or there's a person that I really want to have on who had jump-started some protests in the area, or got some walks going and some events created, and then also set up some event where they were providing mental health services for African American males. You know how amazing that is? I'm going to have her on the show. Once I figure out everything exactly that she was doing so I can represent her well, I'm going to have her on the show. I want people like that. I'm going to hopefully have some people, even if they're out of state. I definitely want to have my man, Andre Mariette, dropping these beats. I would love to have him on. My man, my brother Van from back home, would love to get him on. He's dropping new music, new content. Just anybody that's doing anything, man. Let's go. I'm trying to represent, man. Our people are strong. They're amazing. They're doing great things, and we would love to showcase that, especially between these two shows that I got. So Markel's stuff for her project, the I Am Right Now project, is free. So all you Black people that I reach out to, I want you to do that, man. Tell your story. Tell us what Black Lives Matter means to you. Get involved with these photos and get some fun. Markel takes a lot of photos, so you will get a lot of photos out of this. And again, it's free. My stuff is free too. I'm not charging you to come on here. I just want you to come do the show, even if it's just via Zoom call or something like that. We can make that happen. But either way, the series has not been named, but it will be named soon. But listen, stay tuned for more updates. Email me if you're looking for immediate details. And I mean immediate, like in the next few days or something. But I'm hoping by the Sunday show, I'll have a name for the series and we're going to get it cracking. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, man. This was the Memecool Jackson show. It was lit. Track Talk Radio. You're going back to the music. The YouTube stream is about to get cut off. It's been a good night. I'll see you guys later. Let's get it cracking. All right. Turn the music on. Thank you for tuning into the show. If you were watching live on YouTube, share this, follow this, send it to all your friends, and send it to all your Black friends too. Reach out to me if you want to be on the show. Let's get it. I thank you guys, and I'll see you on Thursday.